Alright everyone, welcome to the semifinal match versus Kaiser. So he's got an Uxie lead, which I know is going to do a ton of utility like Stealth Rock or Yawn or Reflect or crap like that, but or Trick for that matter. But I know it's going to be faster, so I can't afford to use Taunt and get Trick to Scarf or something like that. So just in case that is his plan, I'm going to get up one layer of T-Spikes first, and that way if I am Trick Scarf, I can easily get the second layer up. And let's face it, guys, the last three fights I've had were against freaking Sandstall teams. I do not want to fight something like that again. So I get up Toxic, and he goes away. And then comes this thing, which I know in the past, or at least from my experience, they usually have 2 attacks and a couple of utilities, whether it's Sub or Bulk Up or Hypnosis or whatever the hell it is. So I went with Taunt first to try and block those, and then see if I can figure out which of the 2 or 2 attacks it's going to have. It's almost always a fighting move, and then it's either Waterfall or Ice Punch in most cases. In this case, I believe he actually has 3 attacks that he shows throughout the course of the match, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, it doesn't really hurt Koopa that much at all. Like, I'm really surprised, even though it is super effective and it is Poliwrath, that didn't really hurt. So it doesn't mean exactly I want to stay in. But I'm going to switch out and, change things up a little bit, get it to Melodic, as it can take Ice Beam, Ice Punch, or, whatever the hell he wants to throw out. So there he does reveal Waterfall, so now I know he's most likely going to have Focus Punch or Brick Break if he doesn't want to pack Focus Punch. He is taunted, so he can't use Sub, and so there's no way in hell he's going to go for Focus Punch, and I probably won't get to see it. But that, at this point, is definitely my guess as to what his third and fourth moves are. So considering how little it did to Koopa, even with a super effective move, like, I'm really not scared of this guy in the slightest. So I'm just going to stay in here, confuse it, the hell if I care what happens. It'll allow me turns to recover up and essentially do a whole lot of nothing while still gaining ground. You don't always have to step forward to be in front. Sometimes everybody else just has to step backwards. So even if I'm doing nothing, essentially, it's still an advantage to me and is giving me even more. The longer it goes on, the more it benefits me. So Poison isn't hurting him a whole lot, but it's hurting him a little bit. And I'm not exactly getting hurt myself whatsoever. So I'm at half, so I'm just going to recover up here. It's obvious. He's going to switch out, realizing that this is dumb. And he goes right back to Uxie. So that's okay. I've got no idea what the hell it is that it wants to do. So I'm going to throw a Hydro Pump in its face, as aside from Rest, I don't believe it has any sort of recovery. And the thing is bulky as hell. It's also, from what I hear, like the most commonly seen thing in the trading card game, which, minor detail, insignificant factoid, but whatever. So it is unfortunately Trick for me, which sucks, as I hate Trick. It bothers the hell out of me. It bugs me to death, but at the very least, I feel that if one of my 3 triangle walls is going to get a Trick Scarf, I would rather it be Melodic as opposed to Zapdos or Bliss. And obviously Tauros wouldn't care about it. Koopa would love to have it, as from my perspective, so he wouldn't put it on Koopa. And Blaziken wouldn't really like it, but he doesn't know that I wouldn't like it because mine's really slow. So anyway, I go to I go to Minerva now because I don't want him to Psychic and have Koopa come in on the Psychic, trying to set up Stealth Rock still. So he brings in Poliwrath, which, because of how little it was doing to me earlier, I'm not afraid of it. So I could counter with Chopal, but I'm just not going to, because I'm gonna save that for later, because I know it's just not threatening. It just didn't hurt me enough. So I'm gonna go to Zapdos, as I can take the hits regardless, even the Ice Punch, which, we saw how much it did to Koopa. So, I'm thinking at max it's going to do like 40 points more to Zapdos than it did to Koopa, and Zapdos can recover it off, along with threaten it with a faster stab, super effective T-Bolt. So, he's not exactly going to like that scenario much anyway, either himself. So, no big deal. I just set up a sub in case he wants to Hypnosis or something like that. And, we'll go from there, see what the heck happens. Obviously, he's most likely going to throw an Ice Punch in my face, but, the hell if I care. So, I know I could probably finish it off with the T-Bolt from there, but I had the mindset of, just in case he wanted to set up a Hypnosis or switch out or something like that, it'll give me my free sub. You should almost always sub first with Zapdos in this type of case. And if it doesn't pay off, I can just roost from there. I'll be at, hopefully the same amount of hit points, if not more hit points, and Poison will have affected him a few extra turns, and it'll help guarantee the fact that Zapdos will be able to finish it off in one T-Bolt. As I wouldn't want to T-Bolt it and not kill it, then take an Ice Punch, and then have him die from Poison, and then have him get to bring something, and that would suck. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to roost up here. As normally I like to try and predict, like, he's going to predict a roost, so I should go for sub, as blah, blah, blah. He's going to change moves, be less effective. But because he's got Waterfall, it really doesn't matter if I try and predict his Brick Breaks or not with Flying type and, trying to negate it or not. As he can just, use Waterfall either time. It'll break the sub regardless of what move I pick. So I just don't waste any time or effort, and I just roost up immediately to pie hit points for the win. And this is going to hurt him with Poison a little bit more, and then I'm going to finish him off with a T-Bolt. Or I should say, I'm going to swing in with the T-Bolt. I don't know if it's going to finish him off, he's going to switch, but he does in fact stay in. And it is in fact going to finish him off. So yay for me, finish that thing off. It's gone, it's out of here. I really wish I knew what its fourth move was. My guess is probably Substitute. He just didn't want to sub when he's poisoned, as that's not very productive. But that's my guess anyway, but I really don't know. So in comes a Regirock, and I'm just thinking back to all the Saiyan teams I just fought with Regirocks and Hippos, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to sub in here on your Stone Edges all day long, dude. So that's what I go for. See what he wants to do. I don't want to switch to Bliss ever because of a potential explosion. I highly doubt he's Rest. If he is Rest, I'll just T-Bolt him 3 times in a row, and that should pretty much take him out anyway. And if it doesn't, then I'll rinse and repeat, go to Blaziken, and have him take him out. So he goes with Rock Slide, so I'm thinking, okay, Rock Slide's not going to miss. So instead of playing the sub roost game and have him predict that and throw an EQ in my face, I'm just going to roost up now and get the weakest his Rock Slide is going to be on my Zapdos, so it can be as most hit points as I could possibly expect, and go out from there. Despite the fact that his Regirock is toxic, and that's what I should be doing, I'm just tired of doing that. So I expect to go out to Melodic, maybe even Koopa and set up Stealth Rock, and then maybe Melodic afterwards. Haven't quite figured that part out yet. But his Rock Slide misses. I'm like, okay. And then for whatever reason, when I saw that miss, I just decided that, okay, I suppose that is the superior train of thought. And so I changed my course of action that I've been expecting to use the last 2 turns, and now I decide to stay in with the Toxic and the subbing, even though the chance of him missing twice in a row is, as low as it is, apparently it happened. So it's not his day at all. Like, that sucks. Like, that's really lame. Sure, I suppose you could argue that that's the point of me staying in and subbing, is him hoping to get that miss and expecting it to eventually happen, but the fact that it happened twice in a row is really dumb. And not just 2 misses in a row, but then I get a critical hit on him, which it's not going to leave him with anything after Toxic, and me being faster to hit him again as well. So it's just, normally I'm the one getting haxed, but this is what it looks like, guys, when I'm the one getting it. Like, that's just ridiculous. This is, for a guy who my intention was to switch and not even stay in here, and end up finishing him off at near full hit points instead. Like, that has got to be one of the absolute lamest kills I've ever received. It's just ridiculous. And it, I guess in hindsight, it's not like it was that big of an impact. It really didn't change anything. His Regirock still wouldn't have been able to hurt me, even if I didn't crit or whatever, because I can just sub Roost on it all day. Toxic will build up. I can still T-Bolt it, even if it does have Rest, which would make it as durable as it could be. So it certainly wasn't a win-win. It just makes a winning scenario for him, regardless of what moves he has. It just makes it look really bad. That's all. So it speeds things up and makes it look bad, but in retrospect, it's not that significant. So at this point, I figure the match is pretty much in the bag. Uxie's got all sorts of utility. He knows I'm a sub dose, so there's no way he would go for something that sub blocks, right? There's no way. Oh my god. So obviously I should have gone for it, but I didn't because I figured it's silly to do that. There's no point. And this, guys, is exactly why I always play slow and play defensive, and how I will meticulously, mercilessly just squeeze the life juices out of my opponent so crap like that doesn't happen. And now it did. So now, sure, I've got Aromatherapy Bliss, but now that forces me to have Bliss pull off an Aromatherapy somewhere, and who knows what he can do with that time. So in comes a Dragonite, and I'm just like, great, I should have a substitute up right now. And if I had a substitute up right now, I wouldn't care one little bit. So unfortunately, I do have to care, however, because DD Dragonite in a Mixtier tournament will absolutely wreck face. With one DD, he can destroy almost all of OU. He's very little different from Ments. He's bulkier than Ments, in fact, too, so he can help get that prior. Because once somebody switches on Ments, Intimidate's irrelevant, but Inner Focus and bigger bulk is still worthwhile. So I switch out to an Intimidate Scarfer, as I know I will still be faster if he does dance, and if he doesn't, then I'm going to have that -1 on him on a fairly bulky poke myself. It's got some investment, it's got 95 base, so that's pretty solid. And I don't want to risk a missing Stone Edge, so I'll go for Double Edge. It's only 20 base power less anyway, so if it so happens that Double Edge doesn't finish him off and then he kills me, I know that Blaziken will be able to come in and finish off with a Vacuum Wave, or hell, even my Melodic can come in and throw an Ice Beam in its face. So I figure I'll stay in, try and kill it. Who knows what's going to happen. I'm not able to finish it off, and he T-Waves me instead. So I'm like, well, you know, I should have obviously expected, I probably did expect that if I didn't finish it off, but I guess I went with the thought that I still have Bliss. I can Aromatherapy away the 2 paralyzes, and maybe I can just finish it off anyway. So I guess with the recoil move and Stealth Rock, I don't want to bring him in more than I have to. I figured he's already in once, let's just go for it. So again, though, I shouldn't be making those types of blunders assuming I have the match won, because of all the matchups and advantages that I've had. I should have just went to Bliss immediately, then Bliss would get paralyzed, big deal, I Aromatherapy it off, and I'm fine. So instead, in comes an Arcanine, which I'm pretty sure I can take any hit that it wants to throw out. I am a little bit worried of like Howl or something like that, but it shouldn't be too big of a deal because, again, I know I've got Tauros with Scarf Earthquake, so even if something goes wrong, I know I can absolutely kill the thing whenever the hell I feel like. So I do get off Aromatherapy as he misses a T-Fang. He predicted Melodic to come in, and thus he would wreck it. And it's just really not his day, man. He just missed. It wouldn't have killed Bliss, obviously, so I still get the Aromatherapy off. But it gives him a chance, I suppose, for a crit or a para-flinch even. You know, any sort of thing could have happened. So I go for a counter, knowing it's not going to finish me off. And he doesn't go for the second one. He just flat-out switches. And in comes Uxie again, which, you know, I don't care what the hell it wants to do. I'm just going to soft boil up, get up to max hit points. I know the full thing's moveset. It's got U-turn, T-Wave, Trick, and Stealth Rock. Like, the thing can't hurt anything whatsoever. It just wastes time, really. So I'm going to heal up, but unfortunately I don't. I get Parahaxed. I'm like, well, that sucks. But he's going to U-turn out, and it's going to still leave me at, you know, less or more than half hit points, so I'll just soft boil now, and I'll get back up to full. Who the hell cares? I still have Chopal counter. I've still got Zapdos. I've still got Melodic. I've still got everything. So in comes Arcanine again, but I'm paralyzed again. I'm just like, oh, are you serious? And for whatever reason, like that mess, something snapped in my head again. Made me so mad that I decided to stay in and force the heal, even when I know I shouldn't, as here comes a CB Flare Blitz in my face. And now at the time, I don't think I was expecting that it was CB, but I don't exactly know what was going through my head. I absolutely should not have stayed in, but I did. So he gets a couple of turn of hacks as I'm trying to soft boil up and go back to full hit points. And for whatever reason, I make another stupid blunder. Now, the first one I'm able to make up for because I had Aromatherapy. That one I'm not able to make up for that blunder. Like, this is why one turn matters so freaking much. Despite the fact that I've totally rolled over everything and my team just has the advantages in this matchup so much, and like there's nothing he can exactly particularly do against it, but whatever. And then of course he gets the Flare Blitz burn, which, I'm sorry, Flare Blitz shouldn't even have a % chance to burn. Its base power is too damn high. It's like the rent. It is too high. It shouldn't get like an additional boost. Like, that's for moves like T-Fang, T-Fang has 2 additional chances. You can get paralyzed or flinch because the move itself is so weak. That's kind of the trade-off Game Freak goes with. Lava Plume is weaker because it has more burn hacks, stuff like that. So I should be at 65 hit points here, and instead I'm not. So sure, I get at my Stealth Rock a little bit late. In comes Uxie, but it's like this thing's U-turn would not kill me at 65 hit points. Hell, what Poliwrath's Ice Punch was doing a little bit over 100 or something like that. So a not very effective, unstabbed, weak U-turn, it's going to do 17, but it's not going to do 65. So I would have had a Super Fang off, which negates the burn, ironically enough. And Super Fang would have hit this Cress, and I just keep Super Fanging until he wants to kill me, is pretty much how it would have gone down. Make him waste Moonlights or whatever, and make me have something else come in when he's at half health instead, and just finish it off and be done with it. But instead, a few turns of... Excuse me, another frog in my throat, every single recording. But instead, a few turns of perfectly timed critical hacks and a misplay in there, and now everything sucks, like all over again. So in comes Cress, which wants to have all sorts of fun stall. I'm still not really... I don't know. I don't know what moves it's going to have. But I do know it is the bulkiest poke in OU. There may be a lot of guys who think it sucks and think it can't be very worthwhile, yada yada yada. But it's the bulkiest poke in OU. Like, that's in 4th gen game, I should say. That's not, well, no, OU as in not Ubers, I suppose, is what I meant to clarify with. So, unfortunately, he's got paralyzed on his guy as well, so it's like, wonderful. This time I can't heal it off because I threw away my Bliss into the trash can. So, I'm just going to go with T-Bolts. There's a few different ways I can go about it. I can go about just scoring hits until I'm dead and hope that he's low enough off that I can bring in Blaziken and finish it off from 1 overheat. I don't know how much special defense investment he's going to have. Or, I can keep roosting up here, get him out of his Ice Beams, see what else he wants to throw, as I don't know his full moveset. I know 2 things. Well, I know he's going to have Moonlight somewhere, so I know 3 of his moves. So I don't know if he's got Psychic, so that scares me with Blaziken a little bit. So he's doing somewhere between like 115 to 140 with his Ice Beams in here. So I know I can definitely take them for a while unless there's a crit or a Parahax. I know a Parahax is going to happen at some point, so I'm going to want to stay at higher hit points. So at the same time, the more T-Bolts I throw at him, the more likely I am to have a chance to finish it off. So whatever. Unfortunately, I get paralyzed here. I don't remember if I went for T-Bolt or if I went for Roost. My gut feeling would tell me that I went for Roost, as I'm at less than 130 now, and T-Bolt wouldn't have finished it off. But he gets an Ice Beam on a higher end of the damage variation, and it finishes off my Zapdos, and it's like, that sucks. Now I've got 3 guys. Like, I had 6. I had an easy victory, and now I've got 3 guys, and I don't know how the hell I'm going to kill that thing. So he switches because he doesn't know if he wants to T-Wave me or if he wants to Moonlight or whatever, as I was hoping that I would get a big double edge off and then get killed, and then Blaziken can come in and finish it off. But he wasn't going to let that happen. He made a good use of his fodder, and now he knows he can just stall me off with Moonlights. So I suppose in hindsight, the more Moonlights I can get him to get rid of, the better. But I'm just going to go over to Melodic now, save my dude while I can. And I've got 16 Ice Beams to throw in this dude's face. So similar on the path of I fought with Gold, throwing up that random Ice Beam on there, knowing a freeze would make things go a lot faster. I'm just throwing Ice Beams out here. I'm scarfed, I'm stuck on Ice Beam, so I'm just going to go for it. And I've got 16 of them, so let's see what the hell I can do with it. And I'm still not getting one. Like, are you serious? Like, at first I didn't want to get one when he was at max, because then I don't know what's the best way to finish it off. But at this point, holy crap, I've gone through so many. He's still not frozen yet. It's a 10% chance, for crying out loud. I should get mathematically 1.6 of these things, and I'm not getting any. Not only do I not get any, I get 2 or 3 crits within this time, which are each half the chance of a single freeze. And I was supposed to get 1.5 freezes, and I get none. I go 16 Ice Beams, and I get nothing. I'm like, are you kidding me? I just needed 1, and the game is over. And it's not like I'm saying, oh my god, I need a hacks to win this match. It's, 1.6 of them that I needed. Or that I could have gotten mathematically. It's just, oh my god, like, what the hell happened? All the hacks for the favor of me early you know, it was convenient, it was awesome, but it wasn't that important. And then here we go, everything just completely flips on a dime, and I don't even know how it happened. I've got no idea. So he's got Reflect in there, which makes me know he's going to be specially defensive, and thus I can't expect Overheat to do more than half. And then of course it lowers my special defense by 2. So my best bet is, like, you know, multiple crits in a row when he doesn't Moonlight up there. Maybe just PP stall him out. Maybe I've got to switch around enough between Tauros and Blaziken or whatever to get Blaziken down there with an Ice Beam or Stealth Rock damage so that Blaze is activated and I can just get the most powerful Overheat in the freaking world that isn't from, you know, Specs Heatran in there, and you know, have it do more and maybe finish the thing off. Like that's the best I can do, really, because otherwise I can't kill it. So it's just a mad PP stall for the end of time, and who knows how the hell this thing's going to play out. It's really, really annoying, really, really frustrating. I don't want to confuse Ray him, and obviously Recover isn't going to get me anywhere except wasting time. So we obviously wasted a ton of times as I went through all my Ice Beams and all my Hydro Pumps and crap like that, and we're still going through some more, and now I'm going through my Recovers, and he doesn't exactly want to stick around through all those Recovers and crap. So he just flees, he runs out of there. I don't know what the hell happened, but I'm tired of talking, so I'll just let the credits take it. So thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to stick tuned for some more vids, and you know, peace.